Emmett, congratulations on winning the overall award for New Frontiers with Jumble. Tell us about what Jumble does.
So at Jumble, we make email encryption really easy for businesses. Essentially, we help them secure communications in a really simple way. Businesses over the last couple of years have been subject to numerous different types of hacks and attacks from cyber criminals, and then also regulation is forcing businesses to protect their data. Now, the problem that they face is many of the current solutions in the marketplace, they're just difficult to use. They take a lot of time, money and knowledge to secure their email securely. At Jumble, we make it really easy. It's one-click email encryption and it works cross-platform. It's just simple.
And tell us about your role within Jumble. You're a co-founder, so tell us about the dynamic.
Yep, so I'm a co-founder along with Gavin, who's our CEO, and Fiona, who's our COO. And my responsibility is more in the sales and marketing and the business development, and now talking to our customers at every chance we get. So we bring feedback back to help our product, that helps our product development, but also in securing sales. So as we try and sell our product into the US at the moment, and our target verticals are healthcare, legal, finance, but we're focusing in on more succinct on maybe healthcare in the short term. But it is a case of being out there talking to customers more.
And tell us, how did the New Frontiers program benefit both you and the Jumble product?
We started in New Frontiers back in July, and one thing that was to help us do was get out, talk to our customers more. Through the network of New Frontiers, we were able to meet more people within the local region here and get Jumble into their hands, and then essentially try and get that feedback, help us guide our development, and ultimately build relationships for future sales, which are now starting to happen for us.
Super. And what's around the corner for Jumble? What's next?
So around the corner, it's very exciting for us. Currently, Gavin and Fiona are in the States. We've got an office in San Antonio in Texas, and right now we're currently fundraising and it's also sales. So it's about trying to bring on our seed round and then sell our product, like I said, our SaaS product into the markets in the US in the first instance.
Fantastic. And is Jumble literally a global product at this stage?
Yeah, Jumble, we've got users from all parts of the world. I mean, we see people signing up on a weekly basis from all parts of the world, but primarily the people who are coming to us looking for an email encryption solution that's easy to use, that's innovative, are US customers, so people coming from the US primarily.
Best of luck, Emmett. Well done.
Thank you very much, Elon.
Well done. Dennis, congratulations on winning the Participants Award voted by your peers and the New Frontiers program.
Thanks, Aidan.
Tell us, what does that mean to you?
It's hard to put into words. I turn up every morning. I try and do my best each day. I'm a Tipperary person and travelling down. It's one thing I will have to say. I've never had a morning in the past 8 months that I don't want to come down. It's a fantastic place. The participants, the 11 more participants, the Rubicon's management team, and everyone in the Rubicon. It's a fantastic place. It sounds like a cliche, but I think you have to be there to really appreciate it.
Explain how you've benefited from let's say, the support from your peers, as they recognised you as someone who's contributed to them. But how have you benefited from their support, I guess, and challenge?
Each of the participants there, Connor is ex-Kerry, Emmett, Technology, Marion, ex-Apple. Each of the 11 more participants have very, very specific and very strong strengths or very strong experiences or a knowledge base from other industries, and no one person can know everything. And after a few weeks, once we got the initial sort of getting to know you stage over, it was, I have a problem here, Emmett, can you suggest anything? Emmett might be busy, but he'd meet you for coffee that evening, the next day, vice versa, and there was just a trust and a bond starts to build up, and no matter what problem you meet, there's either peer-to-peer help or someone in the Rubicon. Paul, George on a regular basis, Maria, Maeve, or an existing company. There's been no week that I haven't met someone for a coffee in the Rubicon with a problem. There's always a problem.
What recommendation would you make to anyone who's thinking about starting a business?
Peter Finnegan asked me to come down to last year's showcase event, and I was very impressed, but it's not until you take part in the program that you realise that it's not just a talk from the stage. We can do this, we do that, peer-to-peer support. It's not until you actually take part. It really is phenomenal. The likes of Peter, Paul, George, it's like a vocation for them. Each of us have rang them over Christmas, on a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday, if one particular problem appeared. We just needed support, didn't know where to get it, so it's a fantastic resource. It's very, very hard to put into words.
I'm here with Conor Coughlin of Black Twist Hard Coffee, one of the 2015 New Frontiers graduates, I guess now, Conor. I'm curious, what has the New Frontiers program done for you in terms of bringing your business from idea stage to now almost at product stage?
It's kind of made it, really, to be honest. I was one of the few who took the plunge before getting onto the program. And my office was at home at the kitchen table, and like, you're being productive in that you're putting in the hours. You think you're getting places, and you are to a certain degree, but when you come into an environment like this, it really opens your eyes. Just the contacts you make immediately, it's kind of like, oh, you're at that stage, you should talk to this person. The support group of the other participants and the other companies in the Rubicon around you, and even just something intangible, you're just more productive. I can't quite put my finger on it. I suppose maybe at home you'd spend a bit longer reading newsletters saying, oh, it's all relevant and whatnot, but just started hitting milestones a lot quicker as soon as I got in here, and just made a lot more contacts. And that's been one of the key things for me. It's kind of, right, you always come to a point where you go, where do I turn to now? You don't have the answers for everything. And sometimes, if you're not in an environment like this, you just don't know where to turn. Whereas here, you just ask a few questions, and within 2 or 3 questions, you have the person you need.
Brilliant. And tell me, when you asked the question, would anyone like to sample my product? What kind of response did you get to that?
Well, I was actually developing it for quite a while, so I would say the lads thought, I was just talking a good talk. Is there any product? We haven't seen it. He's just having a merry time. But yeah, I have a long list of tasters, enough that would make me go broke if I was actually to let everyone taste. So I might have to start charging a fee for tasting as well. But yeah, no, lots of willing volunteers there. Yeah.
Marianne, tell me, where did the idea for Irish music apps come from?
Well, my own children started playing fiddle and tin whistle, and I didn't have a musical background. I had a tech background, so I assumed there must be some tools out there, some applications to help them with their practice, because I couldn't help them with their practice at home. And when I went to look, there was nothing there, and I thought, this is a huge gap in the market, because there's so many people in the same position as me that want to give their children early music education but don't have the background themselves. So that's where the idea came from.
And tell us about how you came to get involved with the New Frontiers program. At what point did you get involved or reach out?
I was at an Intertrade Ireland event in UCC. I went there because I had completed an MBA in entrepreneurship, and I was invited to the event, and I met somebody from Enterprise Ireland. I told them about the idea that I had, and they suggested that I contact Peter Finnegan at New Frontiers, and I reached out to Peter, and he invited me for an interview, and I started in July.
Fantastic. And over the course of the 8 months or so, how has the New Frontiers program helped push your business forward?
It's helped to make it a priority. When you're trying to work from home or set up a business from home, it always takes second place. It's a lower priority than everything else. But when I started with New Frontiers, I think even for my friends, for my family, for myself, it then meant it was a priority. So it allowed me to really focus on the business in a way that I couldn't before.
How did you find working with 11 other entrepreneurs?
It was interesting. It was exciting. It was fun. Overall, it was fun. I've always enjoyed working with teams, and I think, my background, I would have always been working with other people. Being an entrepreneur, you can be on your own quite a lot, and that was hard for me to get used to. So having a cohort of people working on their own businesses was very inspiring. It was inspiring to see the successes that they had, and you would be genuinely happy when they had a success. But by the same token, you were kind of there for them, and they were there for you on the days when things didn't go well. So it was great. It was a good experience to have a group around me doing the same thing.
Stephen, your product is something that has potential to change the world. What kind of inspiration did you get in developing that product from your fellow participants here?
You know what, this is the fourth tech company that I've either founded or co-founded. I've been through the mill a few times. I mentioned a little bit earlier, I'm very lucky to have two other co-founders who are actually the gentlemen responsible for the technology development. I joined forces with them about 2 years ago. And coupled with those two guys, but also coupled with the other 11 company participants, it really is a sense of community. Everybody works for everybody, and that's the way it is. I was in a room with 4 other companies, and we spent 6 months in the room, and I thought the world revolved around what we did, and that was it. There was nothing outside of that. And you see these other companies going through the exact same pain points as you, going through the same horrendous, early mornings, late nights, the same issues with the bank, trying to finance things, trying to get things paid. And you realise you're actually not alone, and that has a massive impact on both your self-belief, your confidence, when you realise you're not the only one doing this, and everybody's there, and everybody lifts everybody up. So that for me is really, really massive in terms of the programme and what the programme has provided us. I would say the second biggest thing, not necessarily in this order, but the second thing that I would say was something that really struck me was the amount of people in terms of mentors and additional networks that we got to know, and the amount of advice that they could give us for things that we just didn't know or didn't even believe were important. They were shedding light on subjects that have changed the way we're running our business now. Things that we would never thought of before. And you meet these guys and girls who've been in business 20, 30, 40 years, they've done it, they've worn the t-shirt, and they're imparting that knowledge on you for free. I would advise anybody who's setting up a company to do one of these programs, because believe me, it will be the difference, and can be or could be the difference between being successful or not.